Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated as our organizations will stand for us and they will salute on behalf of their members on this hallowed day for the sacrifices of all those that they represent. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Legion Post number 1. And their ladies' auxiliary. Ladies and gentlemen.
The Doughboy. As you can tell, it didn't always used to be here. Doughboy used to be in front of the Opera House at the Seattle Center. And it stood there for a very long time. It was created by a very famous artist. 3 board of trustees arranged for a Chinook helicopter to pick up the Doughboy at the Seattle Center and actually fly it out here and put it on that pedestal. That is another urban myth. That is not true. The pedestal wasn't here when the Doughboy got here. But it was gifted to us by the city of Seattle, and in turn, we wanted to hold it in a sacred spot, so we built it up. We put it on a marble statuette, and within the statuette are the remains of those people who even further honor our Doughboy by being buried here. And their remains are here as well. But this famous statue, when it was dedicated with cannons like the ones that you see on the corners that were donated in 1937 and 1947 by the American Legion. Those big artillery pieces. And literally, when this was dedicated in Seattle, it literally shattered windows. Literally, when the cannons went off, windows broke when this was dedicated. When it was rededicated here, it was the 80th anniversary of Armistice Day, when we relocated the Doughboy here. Can you imagine back in 1900 that this is a sand hill? It's owned by a guy by the name of Denny. If that rings a bell to you. And it's just nothing but an old sand hill. A bunch of Spanish-American war veterans are coming home, and they think that their friends are buried. Along comes World War I, and they had to delay that for a little while, to about the 1920s. Sandhill was still here. We're still looking for a spot. But all of a sudden they had a whole bunch of more brothers and sisters to add to those that they wanted to bury in World War I. So they chose this spot in the 20s. One of the people who ran this place, the general manager, happened to be a Spanish American war veterans. And they donated this land here as part of Veterans Cemetery for veterans to be buried. Our generals on one side of him and privates on another. But we honor him because he was awarded the highest honor that our country had. And Mr. Horton was a private. And when he was awarded the Medal of Honor, it didn't look like the Medal of Honor today. It didn't look like the one that many of our Medal of Honor recipients who are buried just north of here have received. Private William C. Horton was a Marine. He'd already served in the Spanish-American War. At the age of 33 years old, he was sent to the Boxer Rebellion. Now, most of us are not old enough to remember the Boxer Rebellion, are you? I guess I'm the only one. If you ever saw the movie The Sand Pebbles with Steve McQueen, or you thought about way back in the 1900s and the early 1800s, we had the Philippine insurrection, Battle of San Juan Hill. We had Puerto Rico, and we had some battles in China called the Boxers and the Boxer Rebellions that many countries sent troops to try and quell.